Hello again, Rock O'Connor. So I entered the novitiate with these guys and went from a matriarchal family to not a family, but a collection of people. There are probably 50 of us. First and second year novices, and then the third and fourth year guys, the juniors, we weren't supposed to go over and just interact with them anytime. And I felt at home. That whole first year, I never felt so content in my life. Perhaps I showed that. Anyway, so St. Bonifacius, we're up there. I made really good friends with people. I want to give a shout out because I'm going to start talking eventually about music and getting into composing liturgical music here in a minute. I pestered the heck out of a couple guys, several guys, who were better guitarists, who actually played, and I knew about yay much. First of all, I want to name Greg Christoffel, who was like an older brother to me. Dear man, and he still is, and Greg, love you much, man. And I couldn't have done anything in music without your interest. Bill Geiger, same thing. He was 2 years ahead of me, and I learned from you, and we sang the songs that you were composing. This was early on. This was 67, 68. This is before the time Schutte really started to write, in a sense. Dan, you taught me a lot about keeping tempo. Still not so good at that. Bill Laird, other guys we played with, David Joe Eckert, Dave Matsko. We formed bands because we like to just sit around and play music. We'd sing folk music, we'd play rock and roll. So we had the Iron Water Closet, we had Mogan David and the Grapes of Wrath. There's another one whose name is escaping me right now. What I found in music, what I found in folk music was a chance to connect with people and sing and play and have fun that way. What I found with rock and roll was, and I'd say that basically that saved my life in this sense. In high school, I did want to be in a band. I wanted to play drums so bad. I found that to be like the height of expression. Oh, yeah? Brrr. Didn't work out. We couldn't afford it. We had too small a house for too many kids. Dancing was the other thing. The joy of expressing myself in dance was out of this world. It still is. I just went to another place in joy. So those two things played out in my early years of wanting to be part of things, of wanting to express stuff through music that I couldn't through, well, declining Latin adjectives or Greek verbs or French participles and learning all that stuff like that. It wasn't quite the same. Went to St. Louis, and part of that story was becoming more of an extrovert, of learning to engage with people. And in that time, at our chapel in St. Louis University, Dan Schutte, Tim Mannion, and I and a whole bunch of other guys who are really good folks. Ralph Cacioppo, good people. We usually played music and sang at the liturgies, sometimes a little bit during the week, and then usually on Sundays. And it was a wonderful thing. So when two things happened, John Foley and Bob Dufford lived a block and a half away to the north. They lived in Lewis Memorial, and what they did was they were writing music. Shooty was writing music. All kinds of people were writing music. And in the spring of 1973, Dan and Bob had talked about collecting their music since we were going to be scattered during our time to teach. So we got these guys together, and Foley heard about it, said, let me get in, let's get Kavanaugh on here. Hey, look, Tim Mannion's got a song. And we recorded all these songs on Neither Silver Nor Gold in a matter of weeks, which no one in their right mind would do anymore. And it was exhilarating and nerve-wracking at the same time. You know, don't want to make mistakes and stuff. But that opened up two possibilities for me. One was playing, and then eventually composing, which started the next summer in '74, but also an interest in liturgy, and I had the chance to travel with Dufford and Shooty and Mannion and Foley, and to go around to various places to give talks on liturgy. And what I did was basically sit there and go, wow, they sure know a lot. Wow, they sure know a lot. And picked it up, osmosis. And eventually I could chime in and add stuff and whatever. And those two opportunities called forth from me one of what I would consider a vocation within my vocation, to be a Jesuit and a priest. But the composition of liturgical music has become even more important as life has gone on, and especially these last few years. So what I want to do is conclude with this part of the story and go on a little bit further soon. Thanks very much.